Felcha! This week in my life, it's extremely dark, so I hope this video looks okay. And also my microphone is broken. That actually started last week and the audio for that video sounded like it was being broadcast from the moon. So I've borrowed this, which is much more elaborate, but also more professional. Today's top headlines. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced that Great Britain will be renamed Hellland. Today I'm taking a look at... Great start. Today I'm taking a look at the Mandela Effect, also known as false memory. It occurs when a person believes that their distorted memory is in fact accurate recollection. They can clearly remember events that either didn't happen at all or happened differently. It's called the Mandela Effect because it's named after Nelson Mandela. Thousands of people can recall Nelson Mandela passing away in prison in the 80s, when in fact he didn't actually pass away until 2013. I find it really interesting that it's thousands of people that have had this false memory together. Recently, one of my friends pointed out to me that C-3PO isn't completely gold. They have a silver leg. We were discussing if that's a Mandela effect because I feel like it's just something that you don't notice. Silver and gold don't exactly contrast against each other very highly, so it's probably just something that you haven't really focused on. And I don't really think there is any attention brought to the silver leg. This is where all the Star Wars fans are going to spam me with moments where it's referenced. However, there is a really common false memory pertaining to the Star Wars universe. The line, "Luke, I am your father," has been misquoted for decades. The actual line is,
"No, I am your father."
But for some reason, everybody remembers Darth Vader saying Luke. I have a theory that it's because the line is obviously said to Luke. Oh, sorry. Spoiler if you've not seen Star Wars. Actually, not sorry, it's been like 40 years. This is not even a spoiler anymore. Anyway, the line only has the weight that it has because it's said to Luke Skywalker. So just saying, "No, I am your father," doesn't establish the context as strongly as if you say Luke's name. I don't think it was conscious. I don't think there was a public info film where they said, "Right, we know that the quote is 'No, I am your father,' but let's all just say, 'Luke, I am your father,' okay?" I think it grew organically, and the more people said it, the more it stuck. Speaking of public service films though, David Prowse, the guy inside the Darth Vader costume, did public service films and actually was part of the group of films I talked about a couple of weeks ago, the British info films. He was actually filming some like green cross code stuff when they were trying to shoot Star Wars, and apparently the shooting of Star Wars was delayed so that he could finish making those little movies and then come on set. I love it when things come full circle. This is another film quote. Maybe we're all just really bad at remembering dialogue. Disney's first feature-length animation, Snow White, features the evil queen and her fortune-telling mirror. A vast amount of people, including me, have always thought that she said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" But she actually says,
"Magic mirror on the wall."
Magic mirror? No. Magic mirror sounds like the cheap kids pop version. It really doesn't sit right. I mean, it does make sense that she would say two different words, one actually describing the mirror rather than just the same word twice. But I just thought it was for drama or for rhythm. Like, this queen is definitely about the theatrics. There was even a live action film that came out maybe 10 years ago that was called Mirror, Mirror. It was based on Snow White. They pulled that phrase from the Snow White canon. So, what is this? This one is a really British thing, but it's really interesting. I promise you won't get lost. So there are many varieties of crisps, as I'm sure there is the world over. Before we get into this, I'm going to admit that I hate crisps. I'm not going to elaborate. Sometimes I eat them, but I also hate them. But anyway, the collective memory that definitely serves me and a lot of other people I know, and so many people that it was actually written about in a Vice article, is that Walkers changed the colour of their crisp packets. Walkers is what Lay's call their crisps in the UK. I don't know why. Maybe it's too close to the English word lazy, which would maybe put people off buying crisps. And so they went with Walkers because that makes you think of exercise, and that's the opposite of being lazy. Anyway, the thing is that so many people in the UK remember Walkers had blue for salt and vinegar and green for cheese and onion, and then they switched them. And I can remember the swap happening. Like, I can remember specific conversations, and this would be in the 90s, this was in my childhood, but I can remember talking to my cousins about this, because if you went to the shop, you had to be really careful that you didn't accidentally buy the wrong flavour of crisps, because the colours were changing. And I'm really sure there was a TV advert that told you, the colours are changing, but Walkers denies it. So in the frequently asked questions section of the Walkers website, people have asked, why did you swap the colours? And they have answered that they never swapped their colours, that in fact, cheese and onion was always blue and salt and vinegar was always green. You know, I don't even eat either of those flavours, so I don't know why this bothers me so much, but it does. So there is a theory on this, and that is that previously, you know, in the 80s and the early 90s, the most popular brand of crisps was Golden Wonder, and they used blue for salt and vinegar and green for cheese and onion. And then through time, people started eating Walkers more and it became the more prominent brand. But Walkers does have the inverse of that colour scheme, so blue for cheese and onion and green for salt and vinegar. So that theory suggests that Walkers didn't change anything, but that people didn't realise that they changed the brand of crisps they were eating. First of all, I don't think that's that believable. I think you would probably notice if you changed brand of what you were eating, especially because like the taste would be slightly different, the texture would be slightly different. There's just so much to go on there. And the other thing is, why do I remember an advert? It's time to get to the bottom of why this happens. In the case of the movie quotes, I can see how easy it would be for someone to get this wrong in like a review, or for people to just misquote it based on their memory, and then that catches on and becomes what people think the quote is. But how do we explain the double death of Nelson Mandela? There's something going on today. Mercury is in retrograde. Many people will be familiar with the concept of multiple universes. It's a theory that there is an infinite amount of ways that life is playing out and they're all happening simultaneously. It's explored in a lot of films and TV shows, and for some people, it explains the Mandela Effect. What if Nelson Mandela did die in prison in the 80s, in another universe, and something happened that made a large group of people transport from that universe to this one where Nelson Mandela died in 2013? What if I was born into a world where Walkers did change their crisp colour and the evil queen did say mirror mirror, and then I was transported into this universe? Many videos ago, a personality test told me that I live at the intersection of fantasy and reality. That resonated with me so much that I've used it as the basis of this entire channel. Never more have I felt like I'm standing at that intersection right now, considering that I have crossed universes. Let me know what Mandela effects have been wigging you out. Thank you for watching today. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And if you know anyone who would enjoy this content, please share it with them. Find out what their Mandela effect is, and then let them know that they might not be crazy, they may just have transported universe, and tell them to watch this video so that they can figure out exactly what universe they're in. I mean, I know that's not really what I did today, but hey, it might open a door. Or however you want to share it is fine. See you next time.